All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is the Fountain of Israel's Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now with that, I'm going to go ahead and give you the title of the lesson. It's called According to Thy Works. According to Thy Works. Now before we jump into the scriptures, let me go ahead and encourage you to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Check the description box below, and let's go ahead and get into our lesson. All right, with that being said, I want to jump right into the lesson. We got a lot of scriptures to cover, so we're going to go ahead and deal with it. But the reason why I wanted to do this lesson at this particular time, because I remember back in my, Christian days, that's a really long time ago, many moons ago, but it left me with the impression that there was nothing for us to do. That, don't do anything, just have faith, just believe. That's all it is. Now, I submit to you that there are some scriptures that allude to that, mainly in the New Testament, but of course in the Old Testament, the just have to live by faith and all that. We understand we do have to have faith. That is an ingredient. But as you know, we're already going to go to James, faith without works is dead. We're going to get there. But the thing is, that's the other part of the ingredient. It is your faith and your works. And I think what happens is that a lot of time people go away from the works. We have to work. There is an accountability. That's the problem. This easy believism is just sitting there twiddling your hands and just, I just believe and it's all about the faith. There's nothing you can do. And all that. Yeah, that's something you can do. You can be accountable. There's something you can do. You can walk in the newness of life. There's plenty that you can do. You can turn away from evil. There's a lot that you can do. And see, that's the problem. People think that there's nothing. And that's that Pied Piper leading everyone to slaughter doctrine out there where you think you have nothing to do. Let me just go ahead and make it abundantly clear. You have to do something. There is something for you to do. The least of which is repent. That's something right there. You have to turn from evil. You have to repent. You have to give up your evil ways, right? You got to stop being wicked. So you got to do something, right? Now, obviously, it can be kind of a general term. A general term, because this is according to our works. Oh, this brother, he's talking about works salvation. He's got to work their way into heaven. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there is an accountability that if the Mashiach, if the Messiah paid for you, for your access, paid the atonement, paid for your sin, paid your sin debt, paid off your sin credit card that you ran up, he paid that off, then there is an accountability on your part and my part not to run it up again. Does that at least make sense? Could somebody just put that in the comments. Does that at least make sense right there? I mean, to keep doing what you've been doing, you get your get out of hell free card. Does that even make sense? If we serve a creator, we serve a father, we serve a God, we serve a king and a judge who judges righteously, according to what? How big your faith is? Now, make no mistake, faith is indeed important. I'm not trying to minimize that. But what people have been minimizing is that the accountability, the works that has to be done. Are you working your way into heaven? No, you're not working your way into the kingdom. I'm not saying that. But you are trying to not allow his sacrifice to be in vain. You're trying to not frustrate grace. You're trying not to tempt the Most High with your foolishness. We're here for a purpose. We're here for good works. Because we will be judged by our deeds. plus faith. With that, let's go to Matthew or Matthew. Okay, let's go to Matthew or Matthew. I'll be reading out of the scriptures version of the Bible. I'm going to go to chapter 5, and I'm going to start over here in verse 13 through 16. 13 says this: "And you are the salt of the earth, but if the salt becomes tasteless, how shall it be seasoned? For it is no longer of any use but to be thrown out and to be trodden down by the men. You are the light of the world, and if it's impossible for a city to be hidden on a mountain, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines to all those in the house. Let your light so shine before men, so that they see your" what? "Good works, and praise your Father who is in heaven." So that they may see your good works. Now, you know we're going to go to a lot more places, right? Good works. And what happens what happened in your former life, if they even touched on the subject, the problem is they wasn't specific on what you should be doing. Didn't tell you what, but we'll get into that. Some of you guys already know what we should be doing. But we're going to go on over to Ephesians. Okay. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10, which says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Messiah Yeshua unto good works, which Elohim prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." We should walk in these good works. We should do them. We should perform them. We should establish them. I'm just trying to put it in all the ways so we can understand. This is what we should be doing, brothers and sisters. The whole reason why am I here? To do good works. Because we're all going to be judged according to our deeds. According to those good works. And of course we're going to get to the scriptures that says that. Oh yeah, but the faith. Stop it. Stop. Yeah, you should have faith. But what is faith without works? Let's continue. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to what we have here. We're going to go to Titus. And when we go to Titus, we're going to go 2 and 14. Titus 2 and 14. Okay. And it says here, 2 and 14, he said, "Who gave himself for us to redeem us from all lawlessness." I thought it was just faith. I thought it was just faith. But he wanted to what? Redeem us from all lawlessness. Torahlessness. See, that's why I like to see. This is why I like to read from different versions. I love my King James. But you see how it goes just a little bit deeper. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting down the King James. I will still be teaching out of the King James as well. But you see, redeem us from lawlessness. When we go up, see, what happened is if you don't pay attention, then some butter muffin is gonna come along and just sell you this easy believism. Just sell you this. You don't have to do anything. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'm not gonna just let someone just come on along and just snatch it away. Look, what am I supposed to do? I remember when I was back when I was just a dirty foot duck sitting in the Christian church, and I was wondering. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, well, you ain't got to do nothing, brother. Just trust and believe. Believe in your heart. You know, he knows your heart and all that. That's all it was. And every week, just fill me up with some belief. Just believe. It's just your faith. It's just your faith. He did it all. He did it all. You don't have to do anything. Ignoring scriptures such as these. Who gave himself for us, talking about Yeshua. Like if I read 13, okay, so let's just read 13 for a little bit more context. Looking for the blessed expectation and esteemed appearance of the great Elohim and our Savior Yeshua HaMashiach, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all lawlessness and to cleanse for himself a people, his own possession, ardent for good works. All this according to our deeds. That we want to do good works. Because we're going to get to the deeds. Because same thing. We're going to get to the deeds thing, but same thing. You'll see. Stay with me. Stay with me. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to Ramayim. Okay. Let's go to Romans. Let's go to Romans. What we got here? Okay, Ramayim, Romans, and I'm just going to go chapter 2. Romans. We're just going to go chapter 2. Let's go to chapter 2. And when I get to chapter 2 of Romans, I'm going to go to verse 6. So, 2 and 6. Who shall render to each one according to his works. Let's go ahead and get a little context. We go to 5. But according to your hardness and your unrepentant heart, you are treasuring up for yourself wrath in the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of Elohim, who shall render to each one according to his works. Who that should render to each one according to his works. That's what it says, right? Brothers and sisters, like what? I mean, what? You know what? I'm gonna go over here because this is referencing the Psalms or Tehillim. Let's see here. It says 62. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick. It says 62 and 12. So I'm just gonna take a look. I want to go. Just come on over here to Tehillim. And what does it say in Psalms? Okay, this is the throw in. I wasn't planning on putting it right here, right? But it says 11, I'm reading 11 and 12. So, okay, in the Psalms of Tehillim 62, 11 and 12. And it says, Elohim has spoken once, twice I've heard this, that strength belongs to Elohim, and loving commitment is yours, O Yah. For you reward each one according to his work. Oh, no, brother, no, you don't have to do anything. Oh, no, you don't. Get the truck and duck out of here, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm a few scriptures in, and that's already eliminated. That's already gone. Yes, I believe we gotta have faith. So don't let anyone say, "Oh yeah, you know, Moray Reed or Brother Reed. Oh, he just works. He don't even believe in faith." Yeah, I believe in faith. I believe you gotta have faith. I believe you gotta have both. I believe you have to have faith and works. That's what I believe. Okay, so let me just make it clear. This is just crazy. This is just getting out of hand with. This don't have to do anything. That come on, brothers and sisters, work with me. I mean, are we saying something? Are we saying? Put it in comment down below, brothers and sisters. Tell me something, because this can get out of hand real quick. Okay, so now we want to go to 2 Timothy, and I'm going to go to 3. Okay, 2 Timothy 3. We're going to do 16, 17. Very, very popular scripture. But look at what it says. 16, it says, all scripture is breathed out by Elohim and profitable for teaching, for reproof, for setting straight, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim might be fitted, equipped for every good work. Every good work. Now, we could say, hey, it's walking in righteousness and stuff. But see, here's the difference. The difference when you come into Messianic Hebrew, right? Okay, when you come into this, we don't have to leave everything vague. We don't have to leave everything vague. We can tell you exactly what it is. Obviously, we got to adhere to the law and the prophets. Obviously, we have to cleave unto the Messiah. We got to cleave unto Yeshua. That's Messianic Hebrew. So we don't have to be all vague, because that's what it is. People they like things to be vague instead of saying, okay, look, good works, keeping the commandments. Good works, following the law and the prophets. Good works, believing in Yeshua. They don't like that concrete, and that's the difference. That's the difference when you go into this. It gets a little bit more concrete, less touchy-feely, ethereal, even though you can have a spiritual moment. I'm not saying that some of us in the faith that we don't have. No. We just we gotta get practical with our stuff. We gotta get practical, because we already got whisked away with fanciful tales. We've already experienced that, and that's fine. You can have a spiritual moment, okay? You can have the prayer. You can be dancing. You can be singing. You can have those moments and everything. But we have got to get some understanding. That's what's important. Okay, so let's go on to the next one, okay? We just did 2 Timothy. We're going to go Deuteronomy 4. Okay. Ba mikbah. Or not Davarim, I'm sorry. Not Bar Mikbah. Sorry about that. So Deuteronomy 4, but Davarim 4. Baba Bar is Numbers. Sorry. Deuteronomy 4. And when I get there, I'm going to read verse 5 through 9. Verse 5 through 9. It says, see, I have taught you laws and right rulings, as Yah, my Elohim, commanded me, to do thus in the land which you go to possess, and you shall guard them and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding before the eyes of the peoples who hear all these laws, and they shall say, only a wise and understanding people is this great nation. Listen to what they say when we follow the Most High. For what great nation is there which has Elohim so near to it as Yah, your Elohim, is to us whenever we call on him? And what great nation is there that has such laws and righteous, right rulings, right all this Torah which I have set before you this day? Only guard yourself and guard your life diligently, lest you forget the words your eyes have seen, and lest they turn aside from your heart all the days of your life. And you shall make them known to your children and your children's children. So let me go ahead and harken back to the 2 Timothy 3, 16, 17, where it's just saying that all the scriptures, the law and the Torah, all this is good for right fitting and correcting and reproof and instruction in righteousness and all this other stuff. So if you stuck in the New Testament, you stuck in the Brit Hadashah, and it's telling you, or it's hearkening back to the Old Testament, then doesn't it behoove you and I to go back and take a look? Rather than dismiss? The scriptures is replete with the things that we should and should not do. Let's keep it going. Give you an example. We go over here to Leviticus. And I guess Leviticus 19. I'm going to start at 8. Okay, Wahikra or Leviticus 19. I'm start at 8. No, start at 9 actually. 19, start at verse 9. Verse 9 says this: "And when you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. And do not glean your vineyard or gather every grape of your vineyard. Leave them to the poor and the stranger. I am Yah, your Elohim." This is some good works, right? This is some good works. I'll tell you, we don't have to leave it vague. I can give you some examples of good works. "Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. And do not swear falsely by my name and so profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yah or Yahweh," right? "Do not oppress your neighbor or rob him. The wages of him who is hired is not to remain with you all night until morning," right? You know, basically, you work that day, you're paid that day, basically, right? Okay. "Do not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block before the blind. Don't take advantage of them. Don't tease them, mock them, deride, chide, jeer them, you know, lead a blind man astray, talk crap about a deaf person, you know, stuff like that. Don't do that. Don't be, you know, don't be like that. Don't be the butter muffin that does that. Okay. "But fear your Elohim. I am Yah. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling. Do not be partial to the poor or favor to the face of the great, but rightly rule your neighbor in righteousness." It doesn't matter how much money they have. Doesn't matter how little money they have. Okay. "Do not go slandering among your people. Do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yah. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people. And ye shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yah." 19, it starts off with "Guard my laws." This is good works. This is that righteousness. So we just read in Deuteronomy where, you know, this is your instruction in righteousness. In 2 Timothy, it said the same thing, that, you know, all scriptures good for instruction in righteousness. So what are we going to do? So are we just going to just toss it away? It doesn't really matter. You tell me. You tell me if it matters. First Samuel. I'm going to go to 1 Samuel and chapter 12. 1 Samuel. Shemuel Aleph. 12, and then we're going to read the first 5 verses. "And Shemuel said to all of Israel," okay? Now this is him talking about being righteous, being a good, upstanding person, right? "And Shemuel said to all Israel," so he's in front of everybody, "Look, I have listened to your voice and all that you said to me, and have set a sovereign over you. And now, look, the sovereign is walking before you, and I am old and gray, and look, my sons are with you. And I have walked before you from my youth to this day." Okay, I've been with you all this whole time. I was young with you. Now I'm old. I'm with you. You wanted a king. You got a king. My sons are here. All that, right? "Now look, here I am. Witness against me." Can somebody testify against me, right? "Witness against me before Yah and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Or whose donkey have I taken? Or whom have I oppressed? Whom have I abused? Or from whose hand have I received any bribe with which to blind my eyes, then I restore it to you. All right. So who did I take a blood? You know, I'm just profiting for filthy lucre, that I'm just saying whatever you want to hear for money. Who have I done that? If I done that, somebody speak up right now. I'll give you your money back right now. Who have I done that? I haven't taken a bribe. I tell you what thus says the Lord, and that's it. Right? Upstanding person. And they said, you have not oppressed us or abused us, nor have you taken any bribe from anyone's hand. So he said to them, Yah is witness against you. I mean, you know, the Most High heard you. Witness against you, and his anointed is witness today. Okay? And the king heard you too. That you have found naught in my hands. And they answered, he is witness. And like, yeah, no, you're right. No, you're a good dude. Nobody here can say you took a bribe or you oppressed somebody or abused someone. Or nothing like that. Nothing of the sort. No one here can say that. Good works. It's Samuel. This is an example of good works. This is an example according to our deeds. These are the kind of deeds Samuel put forth. He's going to have a pretty good report, right? Going to have a pretty good report before the Most High. Let's go to Proverbs or Mishle. Proverbs. We're going to go 16. We have 16. Proverbs 16. And I'm going to read one verse, just verse 3. Commit your works to Yah, and your plans shall be established. Commit your works to Yah. Whatever you do, gentlemen, ladies, you're out there, you're working. Commit your work to Yah. Work like you're working for Him. You're taking care of your children, ladies. You're taking care of your children. You're taking care of the house. Work like you're doing it for Him. Do good works. Do righteousness. Practice righteousness. Walk in it. Do these deeds. Because yeah, he's gonna judge us for some of the mundane things, right? So if you're a man, you're working, you're taking care of your household, he's gonna judge you according to that. You know, if a man don't take care of his own household, it's worse than an infidel, right? So he's looking at those type of things. Ladies, you feel like you're not doing a big deal. That is a big deal to take care of your home, to maintain your household. To maintain your home, to take care of your children, to take care of your and honor and respect your husband. To be that soft, nurturing place for your husband and your children. That's huge. So everything that you do, husband loving your wife, everything that you do it as unto the Lord. These are the works that he's going to be looking at. These are the deeds that he's going to be looking at, right? These are not the only ones, but these are the deeds. Are you in your role? Are you in your role? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Did you answer the call? Did you answer the call? Did you repent? Did you repent? I'm talking about male and female. These are the deeds. These are the works. There's something for us to do. We're going to keep it going. Let's keep it going. We are in Proverbs right now. We're going to go and turn back to Deuteronomy. Okay, we're going to go on back to Deuteronomy. Let's see. Where are we going? We're going to Devarim 23. It looks like I only want one verse. 17. 23 and 17. None of the daughters of Israel is to be a cult prostitute, nor any of the sons of Israel be a cult prostitute. Okay, it's an example of good works, right? So, you know, daughter shouldn't be out there being a harlot. You know, the guys, the young men shouldn't go out there and be part of a harlot. You know, take part in a harlot and all that. Just some of the good works. Just a few examples of good works. Just throwing it out there. Let's go ahead and go right back to the Brit Hadashah, if you don't mind. Okay, and so I want to go over to James, which is Yaakov. Yaakov or Yaakov, James. I want to go to 2. So James 2, we're going to start at verse 1. James 2, verse 1. We're going to read to 13. My brothers, do not hold the belief of our Master Yeshua Messiah, the Master of esteem, with partiality. For if there should come into you meeting place a man with gold rings and a splendid robe, and there should also come in a poor one dressed in rags, and you pay attention to the one wearing the splendid robe and say to him, you sit here in a good place, and say to the poor one, you stand there, or sit here by my feet. Have you not discriminated among yourselves and become judges with wicked thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers, has Elohim not chosen the poor of this world, rich in belief, and heirs of the reign which he promised to those who love him? But you have shown disrespect towards the poor man. Do not the rich oppress you and drag you into the courts? Do they not blaspheme that good name by which you are called? If you truly accomplish the sovereign law according to the scriptures, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, you do well. But if you show partiality, you commit sin, being found guilty by the Torah as transgressors. For whoever shall guard all the Torah and yet stumble in one point, he is guilty of all. For he who said, do not commit adultery, also said, do not murder. Now, if you do not commit adultery, but you do murder, you have become a transgressor of Torah. So speak and so do as those who are to be judged by a Torah of freedom. A Torah of freedom. For the judgment is without compassion to the one who has shown no compassion, and compassion boasts over judgment. This is an example of good works, good deeds. James is just laying it on the line. He's just letting you know. James actually, as far as the New Testament, James is actually one of my personal favorites. Just the way he delivers the word. The way he just tell you, it's no ambiguity. It's boom, boom, boom. This is what it is. I love it. He's like almost the polar opposite of Paul. It's clear. Too bad James didn't write as much as Paul, but it clear. Just bam, 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 bam. Love it. No issue with Paul, but, you know, Paul isn't always the clearest. Okay. Let's look at James. We're still in James. Yaakov. And we're going to do 3 and 13. And 13 says, who is wise and understanding among you? And let him show by his good behavior his works in meekness of wisdom. This shows what you got to do something. Are we convinced yet that we have something to do? Do we have some kind of responsibility, some sort of accountability, something? Brothers and sisters, we got to grow up. I mean, we got to do better. We can't have just one part, not the other, and all. While you're still breathing, you have some accountability. We got something to do. If you're watching this, you're breathing, you have something to do. You have some accountability. We got some work to do. Let's get to work. Walking in righteousness. Peter Aleph. Kepha Aleph. 1 Peter. First Peter. Okay, 1 Peter, and I want to get there, chapter 2, And we'll start at verse 11. Chapter 2, verse 11. 11 through 17. Beloved ones, I appeal to you as sojourners and pilgrims to abstain from fleshly lusts which battle against the being. Have your behavior among the nations good, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, let them, by observing your good works, esteem Elohim in a day of visitation. But subject to every institution of man because of the master, whether to the sovereign as supreme or to governors, as to those who are sent by him for the punishment of doers of evil and a praise for those who do good. Because such is the desire of Elohim, that by doing good, you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. As free, yet not using your freedom as a cloak for evil, but as servants of Elohim. Respect all, love the brotherhood, fear Elohim, and respect the sovereign. Okay? So if it's just getting along in the nation, we're over here in the West, let's do our best to abide by the laws. Unless it violates Torah. Unless it violates Torah. But let's give respect to the governments and respect to all that. I mean, there's a time for civil disobedience and all that other stuff, but just, you know, on the surface, let's just, if at all possible, live peaceably with all men. Okay? Part of the good works, right? Just kind of part of the good works. I mean, obviously, Torah supersedes that, but you guys get the point, right? Try to live a peaceful life. This is a short ride, but it can be real rocky if we cause trouble for ourselves. Okay, so let's go on over here to Ephesians 4. Okay, FCM 4, Ephesians 4, and when we get there, I'm gonna start at 29. Let me get over to 29 real quick. 29, and then we'll hop to 31, 32. But 29 says, well, let no corrupt word come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for the use of building up, so as to impart what is pleasant to the hearers. Okay, so we're going to do 29, and I'm going to jump on over to 31, 32. Let all bitterness and wrath and displeasure and uproar and slander be put away from you, along with all evil. And be kind towards one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as Elohim also forgave you in Messiah. Okay? Just some good works. Just some good works. Okay? Just some good works. Just so we understand. Just so we understand. I mean, even in Ephesians 4, right? If we did that, if you read 25 and you read 26, this is just throwing scriptures, right? And 25 says, therefore, having put off the false, speak truth, each one with his neighbor. Speak truth. We read that in Torah, right? Don't deal false, okay? For we are members of one another, right? What about 26? It says, be wroth or be angry, but do not sin. Don't let the sun go down on your rage. Just some helpful tips on good works and good deeds and walking in righteousness. Kind of a big deal if we're going to be judged by it, wouldn't you say? Let's go to Shemot. Okay, let's go to Shemot or Exodus. Okay, and we're going to go to Exodus, 22? Just some examples of good works, examples of things we should be doing. Just some examples. 22. We're going to read 16, 17. Simple. It says what? And when a man entices a maiden who is not engaged and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he pays according to the bride price of maidens. Okay? You're just saying that, right? So here's the thing, fellas. You sleep with a woman, you need to intend, and I'd say intend because in this particular passage, you know, the father can say no, but you need to intend to marry her. The intent is to marry her. Ladies, you are the gatekeepers of this, okay, of sex, of this intimacy. You're the gatekeepers of that. So if you're not intending to marry this man, your answer is no. If you don't want him to be the husband over you, your answer is no to intimacy, right? Okay, gentlemen, if you don't want her as a wife, don't entice. Your intent should be that she is going to be your wife. That doesn't need further explanation. I think we get it. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Babarim. Deuteronomy 22. Is somebody getting it? Please comment down below. Comment section below. Questions, comments in the comment section down below. Deuteronomy 22. I'm starting at 28. I'm going to read 28 and 29. And when a man finds a girl who is a maiden who is not engaged, and he seizes her and lies with her, and they are found out, then the man shall lay with who lay with her shall give to the girl's father 50 pieces of silver, and she is to be his wife because he has humbled her. He is not allowed to put her away all his days. It's an honor. It's a law thing. It's an honor thing. You need to go to the father and say, hey, I'd like to make her my wife. That's it. Now, obviously, if we want to honor Torah, the father says, no, I don't like you going on about your business. Yeah, even if he did have a bride price, because in some countries on the earth, not in the West, some countries on the earth, they still have bride price. They still have that. So you pay that, you forfeit that. If the father says no, you forfeit that. Like if he don't like you, because you can't usurp his authority, and that's it. Now, if you didn't have that father figure or whatever, then I mean, you may want to reconsider who you're dealing with or whatever. But then that's just it. She's just your wife. You make her your wife, and that's it. No messing around. No form. This is so you escape fornication. Let me just cut to the chase. This is so you and I can escape fornication, where we're not just running around, bed hopping and all that, right? Okay? We can't be those kind of butter muffins where we're just running around, hopping from bed to bed to bed to bed and all that. Can't do it. Okay? So whoever you go out there and get, do you want her to be your wife? Let's move on. Let's go to our next spot here. We can go back to Matthew. Matthew or Matthew 25. And when we get to Matthew 25, I'm going to start at 31. 31. We're going to read 31 to 46. And when the Son of Man comes in his esteem, and all the set apart messengers with him, then he shall sit on the throne of his esteem, and all the nations shall be gathered before him, and he shall separate them from one from another, as a shepherd separates his sheep from his goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, the goats on his left. And then the sovereign shall say to those on the right hand, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the reign prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me drink. And I was thirsty, and you gave me, I was hungry, you gave me food, and I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. And I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in a prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry, and we fed you? Or thirsty, and we gave you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and took you in, or naked and clothed you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and we came to you? And the sovereign shall answer and say to them, Truly I say unto you, in so far as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me. He shall then also say to those on the left hand, Go away from me, accursed ones, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his messengers. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. And I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Was naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also shall answer him, saying, Master, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison, and did not serve you? And then he shall answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, insofar as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life. Example of the good works. Helping thy neighbor in these situations, sick, hungry, thirsty, stranger, and you just want some hospitality. You and I are charged to do these things. Because when we do it, because it says love thy neighbor, but as we do it, we are doing it unto the Mashiach. He did it so that we do it for others. The way we serve him is through the service of others. The way we serve him is through the service of our family. The way we serve him is through the service of our neighbor. The way we serve him is through the service of our brothers and sisters. We can't do it directly. We have to do it indirectly through the people around us. You see, the thing is, I think we forget. We all think we all have this myopic view, very small, very narrow view of the kingdom and our involvement in it. We think, oh, I just want to get to the kingdom. I just want to get to the kingdom. I understand that, so do I. But we forget that others will be there. And that there's going to be a protocol, and that there's going to be an order to things. There's going to be a structure to things. Other neighbors are going to be there. We're going to have to teach others how to live as brothers and sisters. And I think we forget that. Yes, we all want to get into the kingdom, of course. But you're not going to be the only one there. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. Are you getting something? I mean, please comment down below. Okay, comment down below. Let's see if we're getting something out of this. Romans. Romans 12. Romans 12. And when we get to 12, we're going to start over at, let me turn over here to 17. Romans, let's see here, Romans chapter 12. Maybe I wrote the wrong, okay, here it is, I got it. Romans 12, 17, he says, repay no one evil for evil. Respect what is right in the sight of all men. If possible, on your part, be at peace with all men. If possible, on your part, be at peace with all men. Beloved, do not revenge yourselves, but give place to the wrath, for it has been written, vengeance is mine, and I shall repay, says Yah. It said, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he thirsts, give him a drink. For in so doing, you shall reap coals of fire on his head. And do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Now, again, this is tough. I admit. This right here, this is tough. But we're charged to do it. We're charged to do it. That, my friend, is a tall task. But we're charged to do it. So I'm not going to just sugarcoat it or anything. That's what we're charged to do. Now let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. Let's go on over to the end here. Let's go to Hazan or Revelation. Okay. We're going to go here a couple of times. But for now, let's just go to Revelation 2 and 2. And what does he say? He says, to the messenger of the assembly of Ephesus write, he who is holding the 7 stars in his hand, who is walking in the midst of the 7 golden lampstands. Okay, he says this. Now watch this. He says what? I know your what? Your works. I know your labor. I know your endurance, and that you are not able to bear evil ones, and have tried those who say they are emissaries and are not, and have found them false. I point this out because it's what I know your works. I know your labors. I know the things you have been doing, not just sitting around having faith. I know the works. I know the labor. I know your doings. Let's go to Psalm 28 real quick. Tehillim 28, and I'm going to go verse 4 real quick. Okay, we're going to start wrapping this thing up. 28 verse 4, it says, give to them according to their deeds and according to the evil of their practices. Talking about the enemies and stuff. Give according to their deeds. So he's going to give the evil people according to their deeds. He's going to give the righteous according to their deeds, to the things that they've done in the body, right? Yes, I understand. Don't panic, guys. When you are forgiven, when you are saved, when you come up under the blood, when you're under from the Pashat or the Passover, and an atonement, and when you have an advocate on the right hand of the Father, and all that, yeah, that can be bypassed. That can be forgiven. Don't worry, that can be forgiven. But that's forgiven by the Mashiach. But in the meantime, we have works, right? So let's go on over. Let's see here. I want to go over here to Yeshayahu, right? We can go to Yeshayahu or Isaiah. Okay, let's go here real quick. Isaiah 59, real quick. Isaiah 59, and then I'm going to read 18, right? He said, what? According to their deeds, so he repays. Wrath to his adversary, recompense to his enemies. He repays, recompense to the coastlands, according to the deeds, good or bad, according to your works. That's how it's going to go down. Okay, let's go. We're going to keep on moving. We're going to go ahead and pick up the pace a little bit. We're going to keep on moving because we're going to finish this. Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5. And when we get to Ephesians 5 and read 1 through 8, it said, become then imitators of Elohim as beloved children, and walk in love as Messiah also has loved us and gave himself for us, a gift and an offering to Elohim for a sweet smelling fragrance. But whoring and all uncleanness or greed of gain, let it not even be named among you, as is proper among set apart ones. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor curse, jesting, which are not fitting, but rather thanksgiving. For this you know, that no one who whores, nor unclean one, nor one greedy of gain, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the reign of Messiah and Elohim. Do you start to understand what now you see why I brought up with the women enticing the maid and all that, why I brought it up? Because that could get us out, and I'm talking to the men, but that can get us kicked out of or denied access to the kingdom. That can get us on the wrong side of the kingdom. So let's encourage one another. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these, the wrath of Elohim comes upon the sons of disobedience. Don't be a son of disobedience, because then we'll have wrath coming. Therefore, do not become partakers with them, for you were once darkness, but now you are light in the masters. Walk as children of light. Walk as children of light. Let me encourage you, brothers and sisters. Let me encourage you. We're going to go on over to Hebrews, Ibrim. Going over here to Hebrews real quick. And when I get there, we're going to go to Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. And let us be concerned for one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the habit of one, but encouraging, and so much more as you see the day coming near. So it is about to happen. Even this assembling, even if we do this virtual assembling, you're coming together, learning this lesson. You're also like, sharing, subscribing, and you're telling a friend and tell a friend, share it, link it, send the word out, so that now we're doing it corporately. Now we're learning together. We're being edified together. We're going to keep this thing going. Because he wants those good works. Some of us, we take it for granted, but he wants them. He wants those good works. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. We're gonna go to one more place, well, a couple of more places, but we're gonna start wrapping it up here. So let's see here, right after, we want Ecclesiastes 9, Koheleth 9. Let's see here. 9, I actually want one verse, which is verse 7. Go, eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with a glad heart, for Elohim has already approved your works. You've been walking in righteousness. You've been doing what you're supposed to do. You are striving to enter in. You are going forth. You're walking in the newness of life. Elohim has approved your good works. Oh, should I obey Torah? Yeah, you should. He already approved your good works. Go forth. He has approved your good works. Let's go to Jeremiah. Yirmiyahu, okay? Let's go to Jeremiah 17. And when we get to Jeremiah 17, we want 9 and 10. Verse 9 and 10. 9 says, the heart is crooked above all and desperately sick. Who shall know it? I, Yah, search the heart. I try the kidneys and give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. According to the fruit of his deeds. This is what the Most High said in Jeremiah, right? This is what he said he does, according to his deeds. We got our last two places here. We're going to go up to the end of the book, see if anything changed. See if anything. Oh, that's that Old Testament. That's just that Tanakh. Okay. Then let's do it this way. Let's go to 22 of Revelation, or Hazan 22. So we read 22 and 12. It says, and see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give to each according to his work. To give to each according to his work when he comes back. This is the end, right? This is the end. Is it clear now? But I got one more. Bear with me a little in my folly. 12 and 13 and verse 20. Verse 20 of Hazan. 12. We're going to read 12 and 13. It says, "And I saw the dead, small and great, standing before the throne, and books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged from what was written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it, and death and Sheol gave up the dead who were in them. And they were judged, each one according to his works." So brothers and sisters, there you have it. It is according to our works. From beginning to the end, according to our works. It's works responsibility. You're going to be judged by something. I will be judged by something. And it's not just faith. It's according to the deeds done in the body. So if you want to go on back the other way because it was easier, then be my guest. But you're still going to be judged according to your works. I hope someone has been edified. Check the description box down below. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.